Good morning, Year 2. I hope you all had a lovely weekend. This week in English, we're carrying on with our work on the Traction Man. Before we start today's lesson, I just want to quickly recap adverbs that we went over last week. Now remember, an adverb is a word we use to describe a verb, describe how we're doing something. So, got some words here that can describe things, but we want to describe how we're doing something. So if I am excited and I want to put that into a sentence, say Traction Man was really excited because it's Christmas morning. To do that, I can add the letters ly to the end to make it excitedly, and I can say Traction Man excitedly opened his Christmas presents, rather than just saying how he was excited. And then we've got the word happy. Now, if I want to say Traction Man was really happy because he found a new sidekick, I could say Traction Man happily found his new sidekick. And what do I do if the word ends in a Y? Well done, I change it to an I, and it would become happily. And I would say Traction Man happily found his new sidekick. So now I want you to think about this one. This word is lazy. It's one of our spelling words, isn't it? How would you turn that into an adverb? How would you say, if Traction Man did something and he was lazy when he did it, how would you describe that? Well done, we would say lazily, but it ends in a Y, so we change it to an I to make lazily. The next word is cautious. That's another word for careful. So if Traction Man had to be extra cautious as he approached the edge of the table, how would you say that? What word would you say? Well done, we would just add ly to say cautiously. We don't need to change anything, we just add ly. All these words make your writing so much more interesting. And the next word is nervous. Nervous is another word for scared. How would I turn that into an adverb if I wanted to describe how Traction Man did something and he was feeling nervous while he did it? Well done, we just add ly to make nervously. And the last one is actually a word that some of you used in your writing last week, and I thought it was brilliant. It's the word eager. Eager means when you're really keen and really want to do something. So Traction Man might be feeling eager to go on a mission. How would I describe that? How would I describe him wanting to go on the mission? Well done, I would add ly to make eagerly. So now we're going to see how those words can be used to make your writing more interesting, because I think you're all pretty confident on the rules. We add ly, unless it ends in a Y, then we change it to an I. So I'm going to show you a sentence that I've written about something that happened to Traction Man. Here's my sentence. Traction Man dodged the pea that was flying across the room towards him. Oh my goodness. Now, I can make this more interesting by finding the verbs and putting an adverb before it to describe how he did it. So my two verbs, my two doing words, are dodged, because Traction Man dodged, that's a movement, and flying. That's how the pea was moving, the pea was flying. So I'm going to add in two adverbs, and listen to my sentence and listen to how it changes it. Traction Man swiftly dodged the pea that was quickly flying across the room towards him. So now you get a much better picture in your head, because you can picture how Traction Man is moving. He's moving swiftly. He did it quickly but well. And the pea was flying quickly across the room. It wasn't a slow motion. It flew really fast towards him. So that's made our sentence much more interesting and helped us picture it. Some of you were able to take it further still and add in some descriptions and some punctuation. So first thing that we can describe is Traction Man. Traction Man, in his red shiny cape, swiftly dodged the round green pea that was quickly flying across towards him. So now, I've described Traction Man, I've described the pea, I've described how they were moving, and I've added an exclamation mark to show it's an exciting sentence. So we started with Traction Man dodged the pea that was flying across the room towards him, and we've ended with Traction Man, in his red shiny cape, swiftly dodged the round green pea that was quickly flying across the room towards him. Can you see how not only is it more interesting, but it really helps paint that picture in our head? So, I get rid of my head again. Before we start with today's task, we're going to just read Traction Man again so that we can have the story fresh in our minds for the week. Traction Man is here, wearing combat boots, battle pants, and his warfare shirt. Traction Man is zooming down in his jet-powered trainer towards a planet Duvet, wearing his latex spacesuit and perfect helmet. The farm animals are being held captive by the evil pillows. Traction Man jumps on the pillows. He's wearing his rocket boots. Ow! They cry and lumber away. The farm animals rejoice. Hooray for Traction Man! Breakfast! Traction Man is guarding some toast. Ooh, we could put an adverb in there to make it more interesting, couldn't we? And say Traction Man is bravely guarding some toast. Now, who's going to help with the washing up? He has volunteered for a special mission. Traction Man is diving in the foamy waters of the sea, wearing his sub-aqua suit, fluorescent flippers, and infrared mask. He is searching for the lost wreck of the Civ. Oh no! The poisonous dishcloth will envelope Traction Man and suffocate him. But what's this? Traction Man has been saved by this brave little scrubbing brush. Well done, scrubbing brush. You can be my pet. Traction Man is crawling through the overgrown shrubbery near the pond, wearing jungle pants, camouflage vest, and sweaty bandana. The dollies have all been buried up to their waists in the flower bed by wicked Professor Spade. Oh, Traction Man, how can we repay you? Think nothing of it, ladies. All in a day's work. Traction Man and Scrubbing Brush are deep down at the bottom of the bath. Traction Man is wearing his deep-sea diving suit, brass helmet, and metal shoes. Somewhere down here, legend says, are the mysterious toes. Oh no, the toes have suddenly appeared and grabbed Scrub Brush. No, mysterious toes are stealing away with my brave pet. Take that! And that. The toes cannot stand it and give back Scrubbing Brush. Traction Man takes some photographs of the mysterious toes. Traction Man and Scrubbing Brush are in the giant intergalactic people mover. They are counting the Christmas trees. They are put into suspended animation for most of the journey. At last, Grannies. Everyone has a present to open, even Traction Man. Scrubbing Brush is very excited. Oh, how lovely! An all-in-one knitted green romper suit and matching bonnet. I knitted it myself, says Granny. It is special Traction Man green for dolls. It is a perfect fit. Traction Man is speeding in his supersonic space cup and saucer, wearing his all-in-one knitted green romper suit and matching bonnet, on his way to rescue the cupcake from the clutches of Dr. Sock. But, oh no, what's happening? The Sock's laughing at him. At least Scrubbing Brush isn't laughing at him. Traction Man is sitting on the edge of the kitchen cliff, wearing an all-in-one knitted green romper suit and matching bonnet. Ruff, 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 ruff. Oh, do be quiet, Scrubbing Brush. My goodness, down there! All the spoons have crashed. They must be helped, but how? The kitchen cliff is very high. Look at that dust cloud. We must hurry. The broom is coming. What is Scrubbing Brush doing? Hang on there, you spoons. We'll hoist you to safety. How can we ever thank you enough, Traction Man? All in a day's work, young spoons. Traction Man and Scrubbing Brush, let us give you these medals. Well, I never. Traction Man and Scrubbing Brush are relaxing after their latest mission, lying comfortably on a book in the huge expanse of the carpet. Traction Man is wearing his knitted green swimming pants and matching swimming bonnet. They are both wearing their medals, and they know they are ready for anything. So that is a reminder of our story, Traction Man. They had lots of different adventures in that story. So the first thing that we are going to do this week is we're going to brainstorm ideas for our own Traction Man adventure. So you're going to use Traction Man and your sidekick to create an adventure, just like the ones in the story. So my sidekick was called Tissue Timmy. So I'm now going to brainstorm some ideas and I will show you how to do that now. Excellent, so that is how you brainstorm ideas. So today you have two jobs. First of all, there is a quiz on adverbs where you need to select the adverb that fits nicely in the sentence and is also spelt right. And then I'd like you to brainstorm some ideas for your Traction Man adventure, ready for this week where we're going to turn it into a comic strip. So have fun, be creative, and I can't wait to see your ideas. Okay, so the way that I like to brainstorm ideas is with a mind map. So I put what I'm doing in the middle, and I've just put ideas because I haven't come up with a title yet. And the two things I definitely want to work out is I want a title for my adventure, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that until the end when I know what happens. And I want to work out which characters are going to be in my adventure. So I'm going to start there. Now I know that Traction Man is going to be my main character. So Traction Man. And remember, it's a name, so it's capital letters. And on your mind map, you don't need to do full sentences. We're just putting words and ideas that we have for our story. So, Traction Man. And my sidekick was called Tissue Timmy. So I'll put that in there. And then I think in my story, I also want to have the bad guy so that they've got a bit of an adventure. So I'm thinking I might use Recycled Reggie as my bad guy. He wasn't before, but I think as I already have him, I'm going to make him my bad guy. So I've got 3 main characters. I might think of more as I go along. And now I need some ideas as to what could happen. So Recycled Reggie needs to do something bad. I'm trying to think what he could do bad. So he lives in the recycling bin. So maybe he is trying... Ooh, maybe he's against recycling. And he's trying to get all of the recycling to rebel and escape from the recycle bin. That's it, that's what I'm going to put. He hates recycling. And he is trying to start a protest. He's against recycling. What are some other words I've said? Protest. So just put your ideas down in little words so that when you look back at it, it will remind you of the things you thought of. My handwriting wasn't very good there, was it? What have I done with that T? So he's against recycling, he's starting a protest. And then Traction Man and Tissue Timmy, they hear all of the recycling talking. So they hear them talking. And they decide to save the day because that is what they do. How can they save the day? Let me think about the qualities they have. How could Tissue Timmy be helpful? He's a box of tissues. Maybe Traction Man could use one of his tissues as a parachute. Yes, I like that. I'm going to use a parachute. So Traction Man can go into the bin and maybe he could talk to Recycled Reggie or take him out of the bin. So talk or take him out. I'll decide that later on when I'm writing. Talk or take him out. It's okay to have more than one idea. That's why we do a brainstorm, so that we can get all of our ideas down on paper. So that's the rough idea, and I want mine to have a happy ending. I am going to add that in. I want them to be able to save the day. I don't 100% know how they're going to save the day yet, but that's okay because it's just a brainstorm, so there is going to be a happy ending. Now I need a title, so it's Traction Man and Tissue Timmy, so that's probably what I'll start with. I can't fit that all in, so I'll write the letters. Traction Man and Tissue Timmy. And the Recycling Rebels. So get rid of the and, Traction Man, Tissue Timmy, and the Recycling Rebels. A rebel is someone who goes against what you say. So a recycling rebel would be someone that hates recycling, doesn't want to recycle. So that could be the name of Recycled Reggie's little protest army. So I'll put in there the Recycling Rebels. Excellent, so that is how you brainstorm ideas. So today you have 2 jobs. First of all, there is a quiz on adverbs where you need to select the adverb that fits nicely in the sentence and is also spelt right. And then I'd like you to brainstorm some ideas for your Traction Man adventure, ready for this week where we're going to turn it into a comic strip. So have fun, be creative, and I can't wait to see your ideas.